Good morning, everyone. When you talk about egregious cases, this is certainly one of them. Like all of you, like me, like Paula, as owners of pets, they become our family. And we would stop at nothing to safeguard and protect our families. This innocent, loving, never met a stranger, little Maltese poodle, three-year-old Milo, loved everyone that he came into contact with. And Paula tells me that he can't love enough. The only thing that these pets, when they give us that unconditional love, ask for is for us to safeguard them. They don't even ask for love back half the time. They just ask for us to safeguard them and protect them. And in this case, you're going to learn about a dog's owner and her relentless pursuit of the truth and hopefully ultimately justice for the deliberate death of Milo is how she has safeguarded and protected her family. You have to worry about the state of mind of an individual who ever harms an innocent animal. Oftentimes we know from experience that when someone's violent towards an animal, cruel as our suspect was in this case, it's often indicative of someone who's much more violent or capable of much more violent tendencies. To make matters worse in this case, Paula's ex-boyfriend was a police officer employed at the Bartow Police Department during this time. During this time lapse of this investigation, he had relinquished his position at the Bartow Police Department because he was recently hired with the Polk County Sheriff's Office. I assure you, knowing my good friend, Sheriff Grady Judd, there is no longer a start date at the Polk County Sheriff's Office. This badge that we wear doesn't protect us from wrongdoing. It holds us to a higher standard of accountability. And our suspect at 22 years of age is going to learn that real quick, as I'm sure he's going to feel the full weight of the criminal justice system. I had contact with our state attorney, our incredible state attorney, who assured me she will stop at nothing to make sure he feels the full weight of the criminal justice system and that he's never, ever has the ability to be around another animal. So let me tell you and explain how we got to this point. May 30th of last year, Paula and her family are gone to California on a vacation. She leaves with the understanding that a good friend of hers, the neighbor, was going to take care of Milo, take care of his care, his custody while she's gone. That day that she arrives in California, she gets a phone call from the neighbor saying, "Hey, I just found Milo deceased. Something doesn't look right." Paula explains to her that he's a 3-year-old healthy Maltese that has no history of any type of medical issues. Something's wrong. She comes home. She has conversation with her neighbor because her neighbor says, "Hey, I'm looking at the food in Milo's food tray, and there's pellets in the tray. Do you feed him any type of special food?" "No, just the food that I'd leave you to give him." So she collects the pellets. When Paula returns home, there's a gap of time. I think there's two big mistakes that our suspect, Campuzano, made. One was at what extent a dog lover and owner will go in the pursuit of the truth. He also underestimated her investigative ability. He wasn't the only investigator in this relationship. And as a result, it ended up leading to his arrest. She takes the pellets, takes photos of the pellets, and sends it out. Sends it out to everyone that she knows. Has anyone ever seen these pellets? And she starts getting some feedback that, hey, listen, this is a rodent poison. It's used for the eradication of gophers, rodents such as that. You know, that's what they use this for. So she takes it upon herself over the next several months And on December 17th, from May 30th till December 17th, like a good investigator, she has that sixth sense. She has that sinking feeling in her gut as she's still dating this individual that something's just not right. Something's not right here. She asked her now ex-boyfriend, can I take a look at your credit card statement? Can I look at it over the next several months? For some reason, like any suspect does at times, sure, you can take a look at it. She's scrolling down and she sees a charge for $8.01 at the nearby Tractor Supply store. Armed with her first lead in the case, she says, I'm going to Tractor Supply. She goes to the section where there's a rodent eradication section, and she goes down and she sees a gopher eradication poison. Lo and behold, total cost, $8.01. So now as a good detective, now it's time for the next step. She goes to Tractor Supply. She says, on this date, can you take this activity and pull it up? And this is what was charged. My boyfriend charged. They were cooperative. They gave her the receipt. Yeah, your boyfriend bought this poison, this gopher and rat poison, on this date. I'm sorry for saying this, but I've learned that this poison on any other animal that it's not intended for is an extremely painful death. Think about that. Think how calculated and deliberate this individual was. He bought this poison 2 days before she left town, knowing that his intentions were to kill this poor innocent animal. Scary. So she contacts us this December 17th. She contacts us. We're able to issue some subpoenas and garnish enough evidence where we present the case to the state attorney's office, issued a warrant on January 16th. On January 16th, we make contact with him. He turned himself in. No, he did not make any statement. And equally as important, at no time did he ever show any sense of remorse. Not one moment of remorse. Paul, I thank you for being here today. This sends a clear message that we will not stop as dog lovers, as dog owners, and as law enforcement, and ever seeking pursuit of the truth. And we will do whatever it takes at all costs to protect our families, those who are the most vulnerable in our community, and animals like Milo. We will do whatever it takes to make sure that Mr. Campuzano never dons a badge in our community. But on the other hand, I have to tell you, Paula, with your investigative skills on full display, I want you to know that Team HCSO is hiring. And I sure hope as you heal, if you decide that you want to do this for a living, I want you to know I'll do anything possible to make that happen. We need more passionate individuals like you working right here to safeguard our community. I thought at this time I'll turn the microphone over to, again, our victim's owner, Paula Fernandez. Paula, I'll turn it over to you. Please share some words.
Just want to start off by saying a huge thank you to Chad and Hillsborough Sheriff Department for taking this case seriously and taking the time to look into it, especially with given how much time passed from when it happened. On May 30th, I got a call from our neighbor, who's our friend, saying that she went to go check on Milo and she found him deceased. I'll never forget that call. I'll never forget that day. I just felt my heart drop, and it just didn't make sense because I made sure to say bye to him in the morning before I got on my flight, and he was perfectly fine. He was happy. Our trip was probably for like around a week, so by the time we got back to the house, we came home to an empty house when we should have came home to Milo running up to us, greeting us. In addition to that, there was blood by the floor, by the door, that we had to clean up because he was vomiting. So not only did we come home to an empty house, but we had to come home to that and clean it up. Edwin later came over to my house that day, and he bought flowers not only for me, but for my mom and my sister, because we were mourning Milo. At that time, I thought it was a sweet gesture, but now to know that he's the one responsible for Milo's death is a pain I can't even describe. This was premeditated. He had 2 days to think about his decision, and he still did it. He did this knowing that my family was going to be gone for a week, and none of us got to say bye to him. He died a painful death, and he died alone. I just hope that there's some way that we can get justice for Milo, because he didn't deserve this.
Important to note also, I failed to mention any details, our victim who became victim's parent who became an investigator, she went to the veterinarian. She asked them to perform a necropsy. She wanted to know why and how they died, and that's when it was revealed that he bled to death as a result of being poisoned. Again, can you imagine someone's state of mind to be that premeditated, that cruel, that deliberate, and taking the life of an animal, and then at the same time want to try to comfort her and her family with flowers? Scary. I'm glad he was stopped now. What questions can me or Paula try to answer for anyone?
I realize he hasn't spoken.
Have to come over here a little bit.
I'm just wondering if you can hazard any guess as to what his motive was here, why he did this.
He never liked Milo. He would continuously tell me that he didn't like Milo, but I didn't think he would ever do something like that, so that's the only thing I could think of, that he just did not like Milo.
Were there any signs that you could tell in hindsight? I know they say hindsight's 20/20. Were there any behaviors that he exhibited? And also my question, that's a great question for you, Paul, but also for the sheriff's office. I mean, did we look into any of his online activity? Was he researching some of this stuff ahead of time? Did we get any indicators?
I don't know if he was researching anything, but the scary part to me with all of this is that to me there was no signs. Like, he was well liked. He was a completely sweet boyfriend to me. We hardly argued. There was no signs for me other than the fact that he didn't like Milo, and I just summed that up to not everyone's a dog person. But he was a perfect boyfriend. That's what makes us so much scarier.
And for us as an office, when it comes to doing investigation, the evidence was so abundantly clear we didn't need to take those extra steps to go look at online activity. There was a lot of subpoenas that we issued. That wasn't necessary because the evidence we had was overwhelming enough. But great question.
Sheriff, just given your experience investigating all kinds of cases and people, do you have any doubt that had this person not been caught, that eventually he would have done something to the person?
We know from history that a lot of sociopaths, a lot of murderers, serial killers, if you look throughout history, they start with animal cruelty. You have to be beyond cruel to harm a defenseless animal, but then try to cover it up like he's the perfect boyfriend, to be there to comfort him, knowing that he's the one that took that puppy's life. Scary. Like I said, I don't know any other words but scary, and I'm glad we were able to stop him now. This may have taken some time, but thank God he was behind bars. I know he's out on bond, but we're going to work very hard to make sure that he feels the full weight of the criminal justice system. I don't say that very often. I don't take that responsibility lightly, but we will stop at nothing to make sure that he's held accountable for his actions. Maybe this will stop him and make him a true believer, and that you can't treat anyone, nonetheless an animal, like you just did. Oh yeah, he absolutely will be. We're trying to obtain a judge's order that he can't be around any animals, period, forever, a permanent injunction. That's in the works as we speak, after talking with our state attorney. 100%. And he showed no signs of abuse. I know Paula has said that, but same thing, no signs of any type of violent behavior either. It manifested itself now. So I guess we can feel fortunate that we caught it now, then maybe later on. At the same time, you have a loss of life, and you have a grieving owner of an animal here that didn't deserve any of it. His actions were deliberate, cruel, and very calculated, and I think that's what makes it so worrisome.
How much time does he face?
It's a
Wait forever for this.
yeah, this is a serious one. This isn't just an animal cruelty case. This is an animal cruelty case that's aggravated because it resulted in death.
Ma'am, I don't want to be too nosy here, so forgive me, but I do notice that you have a ring on your finger. Is there another?
That's just mine that I bought for myself.
Okay. Sorry to be nosy.
No, you're good.
I do have a question for you. First, I'm a dog mama as well. I just want to say my heart truly breaks for you.
Thank you.
They're like her babies, and they are family.
I would always call him my son, That's my son.
This has been, he is your son, and this is obviously such an emotional time and a heartbreaking story for all of us. So I just kind of want to give you a chance to shed some light on Milo's character. I saw the video, and oh my God, my dog, like he seemed like he just filled the room.
He
Slide
did.
you right over here so
Yeah.
they can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, he did. Coming home to an empty house, it weighed heavy on us because it just felt so much quieter, it just felt so much darker. He loved everyone. He was so smart. He would go tap the fridge if he wanted water because he was that smart. He would ring a bell to go outside to use the bathroom. He was just the smartest, cutest little puppy for me. And I miss him every day.
One more question about Campuzano. So he stepped down from his position as a Bartow police officer so that he could pursue a job at Polk County. Around what time did that happen? And also in hindsight, do you have any suspicion that him stepping down and doing this transfer had anything to do with a guilty conscience or anything?
No. Till this day, I've never seen any type of remorse from him. In the months that followed, there would be times where I would let him know that I was so sad, and he'd be like, why? I'm still thinking about Milo. And he just never showed any indication of remorse other than, oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I could be there to help, and you're the one that did it. And the reason he stepped down is because he thought he had a job lined up at the sheriff's department. I had put in my case or my police report on December 17th when he already knew that he had a job lined up. So he put in his 2 weeks thinking that he was going to the sheriff's department.
Yeah, to answer your question more specifically, this happened May 30th. He didn't step down until December, knowing that he had a start date with the Polk County Sheriff's Office in January.
Okay, so it was around mid-December he stepped down.
Because he thought
Right.
Yeah, he stepped down because he thought he had a job lined up. So it's not like, oh, I did this, let me step down. It's, oh, I'm going to the sheriff's, let me put in my 2 weeks.
For someone who apparently was part of this process, the criminal justice process, A, why didn't you get caught? And B, what kind of betrayal is this?
Again, betrayal at its finest. This doesn't shield us from accountability. It holds us to a higher standard. He made two fatal flaws. Number one, underestimating her love for this animal. And number two, he severely underestimated her investigative ability. And again, it was her investigation handed over to us that ultimately led to his arrest, and now will be the ultimate pursuit of justice is when he's being held accountable. So again, he made two severe flaws. Number one, underestimated her love for this animal and the bounds that she would not stop in being relentless for pursuit of the truth. And number two, I've said it several times throughout this interview. Look at all the investigation, the investigator sixth sense that she had to not stop over these several months knowing that something wasn't right. Something wasn't right, and she stopped at nothing to uncover and reveal the truth. And that's what ultimately led to him being held accountable.
Any other questions? Were you dating him after going through this investigation? I know you're saying that supporting you through this.
So I officially found out that he was responsible when I went to Tractor Supply, matched the transaction price, and then got the receipt from Tractor Supply later that day. So at that moment, there was no denying that he was responsible. And at that time, my first thought process is you killed Milo completely unprovoked. He was a tiny puppy. He wasn't even aggressive, and he's less than 20 pounds. So if you killed my dog unprovoked, what are you going to do to me if I break up with you? So because of that, I told him I just needed space to get over the coincidences. So I have not seen him in person since I put in the police report and found out, but I was actively in communication with him during this investigation because I was scared that he would do something to me if I broke up with him.
Are you able to send us, there are a few pictures already, but are you able to send us a few more? We just need a couple of pictures or videos.
Sure,
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll have Amanda send out some more videos. She has plenty. We'll get you guys more videos and photos. Thank you again. Have a wonderful and safe weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for speaking.
Ready?
Thank you.